Was I wrong in how Social Security was taxed? Oh, no. I've written 2 books on this. Tax bombing your retirement account. You can retire on Social Security. I've done just hundreds of videos on Social Security taxation. Don't tell me I'm wrong. No. All right, so let me show you what I'm talking about. So I got this comment from, the Skulls Pauper's Grave. Such a good song. You guys want to hear this a little bit? Let's check this out here. You ready? Listen to it a little bit because it's one of my favorite songs of all time. You should listen to the Skulls Pauper's Grave. The Skulls are just fantastic. From New Jersey. The tin whistle. I've been drinking so much porter. I'm not sure how much I can play without being copywritten. So let me just do it again. I began to vomit there upon the shiny shoes, and it's up. The bar down below. Oh, that's such a good song. Let me fast forward here, right here. So let's see if I can play here. Lay me down in a pauper's grave. All right. Oh, right here. Such a good place. Right here. Yeah, let's keep listening to that. Came down from Inverness, and when the ball was over, there we 4-20 left. La 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 la. Anyway, putting the banjo with rock and roll and just freaking a tin whistle. It is all good. It is all good. So here's Born Again Pride right here. Look at my man Finn McKenty. Look at my man Finn McKenty up here. This guy crushes, if you're not familiar with Finn. So Finn talked about this video on Rage Against the Machine is done. And, how do I... And he commented, Finn is married to a Vietnamese, Finn's got a son now, and he's married to a Vietnamese lady, and we know how to speak Vietnamese, Diddy Mao. And Finn's wife's dad and mom fled from the BC, or Ho Chi Minh and whatnot, from the commies. And so Finn is not too happy, neither am I, about Rage Against the Machine and the Che Guevara and commie crap, because Finn's like, literally, his wife's parents could have been killed in a concentration camp in Vietnam. So communism sucks. Anyone who promotes communism sucks. Anyone who promotes Hitlerism sucks. They all suck donkey freaking kahunas, if that makes sense. Anyway, so I posted on Finn, because Finn's a friend of mine. He texts me every now and again. I text him every now and again. And I commented, and I said, Finn, Finn, hey, did you feel the same about these guys before you met your wife? Just curious if her family's literal lived experiences opened your eyes, or were you aware of the evils of communism beforehand? And Finn said, yeah, I've had the same opinion since the 90s. I had a column called Conservative Corner in my high school newspaper back in the 95 and 96. What I like about Finn is his parents, like his mom was a big old hippie. His dad was, I want to say, corrections officer at a jail in like Ohio or something like that. And Finn, it's like his story is like mine, dude. It's nuts. He found metal hardcore, and he just found a group of people there that just related to him, that were just, not nerds, but not even outcasts so much, but just we didn't fit in with just the day-to-day people. You know what I'm saying? And he found this music family, and unfortunately, a lot of those people in the music family get into hard drugs, alcohol, violent, and whatnot. And Finn, like me, got over that before we got too deep in that, if that makes sense. And anyways, it's fantastic, you know what I'm saying? And I found him on YouTube. I interviewed him a couple years ago. Anyway, Finn's crushing. That's the fact. So anyway, I'm glad that guy crushes. All right, so good stuff, man. So all right, let's go back to this right here. 4-20 virgins came down from Inverness, and when the ball was over, there was 4-20 less. All right, oh man, this scale was just crushed. All right, so here's Born Again Bride, and who I like Born Again Bride. She led me back to open up my good book, the Good Bible, and I have an NIV version. I kind of chuckle. All these people think KJV is the only way to salvation. It just kind of makes me sad to hear that in a way. Because I'm like, really? Are you a difference between are you familiar with how KJV was? Whatever. It's one of those things. I'm not here to debate your Bible, my Bible. I chuckle how the KJVites are explicit. Like they have all the answers to the KJV, and all the other ones are weak. And I'm like, KJV's got some issues too, man. Let's not be so adamant, and our way is the only way, if that makes sense. So anyway, the good book, and Born Again Bride got me opening it, and now I just got done with Samuel. I'm on Kings now. Yeah, I've just started Kings. I've read Kings before. I had never read Deuteronomy. Yeah, I had read Deuteronomy, but it's been a long time. And the thing about the Bible is it's not something you read one time and put it down. It's not like Atlas Shrugged, for instance. I mean, Atlas Shrugged's a hard read. The Bible is too. But it's you want to read it, literally try to open up every day, just 1 or 2 chapters. I wish you'd get to the topic at hand. Yeah, me too. But I'm not. Be it as it may. So Born Again Bride. And I pinned this comment because I want people to understand that I don't just pull stuff out my butt here. No one else, including my Vanguard advisor, seems to see taxes this way, how to calculate your taxes on Social Security benefits. They just say it's a flat 85% of your income is taxable if you make over the limit and modify adjusted gross income. They don't divvy it up as you do. Even the Social Security Administration doesn't clarify any fractional way to tax the Social Security income. Please clarify. And I said, clarify it for yourself by running your own numbers on any tax planning software. Easily done. And so I give her an example here that we're going to go into right now. We're going to say you're a single with $25,000 IRA distributions and $35,000 in Social Security benefits. All right. I say, so we're going to go into this, what we got here. We're going to put it into right here. Then we're going to look at Right Capital Software. And then we're going to come back and see what Born Again Bride says. All right. So we have BAB, is Born Again Bride. We're going to assume she's over 65 years old. She has $25,000 in IRA distributions, $35,000 in Social Security, roughly. All right. So first thing we got to do, so let's make sure this is SI, this is IRA, SS, Social Security IRA. So the first thing we have to do is calculate how much of our Social Security is subject to taxation. It's a Texas two-step. So two-step process. You got to dance, Texas two steps. So we got to figure out how much of our Social Security is subject to taxation. The first thing we do is divide this by 2. That's $17,500. We bring this down. That's $25,000. All right. So you take half of your Social and all of your other income. All right. In this case, we only have $125,000 of IRA distributions. That's it. So you notice she's living off $5,000 a month or $60,000 a year. Now, I'm not saying this is Born Again Brides. I just use this for an example. So here we got $42,500. All right. That's our provisional income. That's the basis for which Social Security is taxed. So we go over here. Right here. Sweet. Yeah. So we take $42,500. For single people, the first $25,000 is tax-free. All right, so $25,000 is tax-free. So that means we got, what, $17,500. Yeah. The next, $9,000, so 25 to 34, that's right. 50% of that is subject to taxation, and that's $9,000. So we know that's 9,000 times 0.5, which is $4,500. All right, then the next, what's that, 8,500, is that it? 8,500 is subject, so anything over 34,000 times 0.85. Of course, I don't have my calculator here. It's over here. So let me get my calculator. Hopefully, y'all can still hear me while I got my setup here. 4 and 20 virgins came down for Inverness. And when the ball was over, there was 4 and 20 less singing balls to your partner, your ass against the wall. If you never get laid on a Saturday night, you never get laid at all. Da-da-da-da, 7225, 7225. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Have a pint of porter, a pint of whiskey too. All right, something like that. I'm not sure the lyrics actually, 4,500. So in this case, we know 11,725 is going to be her taxable Social Security. So she has $35,000 of Social Security, but only $11,725 is subject to taxation. That's not, I mean, subject to taxation. That's not her tax, just subject to taxation, subject. Plus, then we got to add the $25,000 from her IRA, all right? So here we got $36,725 of AGI, that's adjusted gross income. And from there, we got to do our standard deduction. I can't remember. We're going to say $14,000. So she should have taxable income of $22,000 TI AGI. So she should have $22,725 of taxable income. Right? We're just going to assume the first $10,000 is 10%. I can't remember exactly, but we're just going to go with that. All right, so that's $1,000 in taxes. The next $12,725 is at 12%. I just have my calculator. Oh, right here. What did it say? 12,725 times 0.12. That's another 1,527. So she should have roughly $2,527 in total taxes, all right, on $60,000, $2,527. Her effective tax rate, I know you can't really read my writing, but just be it as it may, is $2,527 divided by 60. Her effective tax rate is 4.2%. 4.2%. All right. Let's see what Right Capital does. All right, so we're going to go into Right Capital, and we're going to see what they say. And so here we got, I'll just show you what we got here for Susie Sample. She lives in Georgia, and we're going to show you she's going to have income. Social Security, I just did $2,900 a month to get roughly $35,000 a year, roughly. And then she's going to have IRA distributions of $25,000. All right, so we're going to go up here to our retirement, and we'll see what they give us for cash flows. All right, we're going to go to summary, and look at that. Almost identical to what I got. I got $25,207, and I didn't do exact the standard deductions or exact the 10 and 12% tax bracket, but pretty doggone close. And how do we get there? So you can see she has income flows. She has Social Security $34,800. I had $35,000. And she had IRA distributions of $25,000, as you see here. Her total income is $59,800. All right, so let's go to the 1040. Her effective tax rate here is 6, but they're not correct because they're effective. Let me show you what I'm talking about. We're going to go to 1040 here, and we're going to see $25,000 IRA distributions, $34,800 of Social Security, of which only $11,640 subject to taxation. I had $11,725 subject to taxation. We had $25,000 plus $11,640. That gives us AGI of $36,640. I had AGI of $36,725. We take out, you're using a standard deduction of $16,550. I was only using a standard deduction of $14,000. All right, so you can see. So her taxable income in Right Capital is $20,000. I had $22,725 as taxable income. And then, again, the 10% and the 12% aren't exactly what I said here, but be it as it may. And there you go. And you can see how they got this. We're going to look at the taxable Social Security right here. $34,800 is her Social Security. All right. You take half of that plus her IRA distributions. That is your provisional income. And we know that this is it's the exact same thing, but right here. They're using literally right here. Married, filing jointly, single. We know single. The first $25,000 is tax-free. All right. And then they got a lot of stuff in here that's very confusing. I just like to use what I use right here. It's the exact same scenario, literally the exact same thing. But basically right here is if you're the first $25,000 is tax-free. The next $9,000, 50% of that subject to taxation. Anything above $34,000 is taxed at 85%, or 85% of that's taxable, if that makes sense. So you can do all this and play it around yourself, and then you can even go on TurboTax if you want, for sure, and figure it out yourself. So literally, we're all in the same ballpark, about $2,000 in taxation. Now, what Right Capital does, which I wish they didn't, one of the issues that kind of a pet peeve of mine, they say their estimated tax is 6%, and how they're getting that is they're saying we're going to, right here. We're going to use your tax, 21, divided by your, right here, AGI. I think that's how they do it. 21 divided by, is that what they do? 21 divided by AGI? I think so. 2179 divided by AGI, 36640. Yeah, 5.9%. I actually don't like that. I think you should do 2179 divided by gross income for effective tax, because AGI excludes $23,000 of Social Security income. And so as such, the real gross income, their actual spending power isn't $36,640, of which they got paid $2,100 in tax. Their spending power is basically $60,000, of which they got paid $2,100 in tax. So here, 25 plus 34.8 equals 59,800. So 2179 divided by 59,800. Their effective tax rate is 3.6. What was mine again? 4.2. So that's how you figure it out. Again, you can try this any way you want. I'm right 100%. I'm not saying born again brides challenge me. She just says all these other guys don't do it like you did, because no one takes the time to figure this out. And so we go here, then born again bride says, heritage wealth. Yes, sir. That's the math I did also, but the calculators and websites I said all found 85% of my total Social Security was taxable, all but one, and I cannot recall where I found that one. Even the Social Security website is very vague. Anyway, so now that might be that her adjusted gross income is well above what we're showing here. I mean, at some point, you'll make too much money where 85% of your Social Security is subject to taxation. Let's do an illustration of that right quick. So we're going to have her making, instead of IRA distributions $25,000, we'll do $50,000. All right, so we're going to show you what that looks like here. 4 and 20 virgins came down from Inverness, and when the ball was over, there was 4 and 20 less. Singing balls to your partner, your ass against the wall. If you never get laid on a Saturday night, you never get laid at all. Da 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 da. Oh man, my singing is like the choirs of heaven open up. Oh, Josh, sing some more for us. Oh man, then throw a fiddle in there, a fiddle, some tin whistle, oh, banjo. Some electric guitars, a saxophone. Oh my goodness! All right, so here we got we're saying 50,000, so now it's 25,000 here, because again we take half of Social Security and all of the IRA. Excuse me. You should drink decaf, Josh. I do. I'm just high on life. 67,500 is a provisional income. All right, we know first 25,000 is not taxable. That leaves us 42,500. The first 9,000 of that, 50% of that subject to taxation. That's going to leave, what, 33,500? Is that right? 33.5. I might be off a little bit, but you guys can deal with me. 85% of that is subject to taxation. 33,500. Times 0.85, that's 28,475. 28,475 plus the 4,500. Yep, in this case, 85% of her Social Security will be subject to taxation. Plus 4,500. Yep, 32,009. So her total taxable income, according to the provisional income rules we just did, 32,975 of her 35,000 is subject to taxation. But that is going to be more, 32,975 divided by 35,000. That's going to be 94% of her Social Security subject to taxation. But we know the max is 85%. So it's the lesser, I want to say this right, of 85% or whatever you calculate, if that makes sense. Because the max you can have is 85%. So if her IRA distributions was $50,000, then yes, indeed, 85% of her Social Security is subject to taxation. In this case, because her IRA distribution is 50%, 50 times 0.85, 35,000 times 0.85, only 29,750 would be taxable, part of her total AGI. So yes, you can have 85% of your Social Security subject to taxation. It all depends on how much other income you have. So in this case, a doubling of her other income increase her taxes significantly. So let's just show you the difference here. So we have 25,000 more in right capital of income. Remember, she paid $2,000 in tax before. We're gonna have her taking 50,000 from her IRA out in this stage, 50,000 schmackaroonies. Right here. And let's just take a look. So her $50,000 additional income, all right, and what does that do to her taxes? Probably going to go up more than her income adjusted. Yeah, it went up 100. It went up. I mean, that's almost 450%. Isn't that crazy? So the extra $25,000 of income made her total income go from from 60,000 to 85,000. So her total income went from 60 to 85, an increase in 25,000, which is an increase of her income, 25 divided by 60, of 41%. But her taxes went up from 2 to 9. So 450% increase. Isn't that crazy? So 2 divided by 9. Oops. Wait, that's 2 divided by 9? Whatever that is. Why is it not doing it? No, either way. 2 4s, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4. Whatever it is. So a hell of a lot more than 41%. Yeah, it's like a quadrupling plus a half. Yeah, it's 450%. Anyway, the point is that now we had, instead of only having 11,000 of Social Security subject to taxation, watch what happens under 1040. Now we got 29,000. All right, so not only did she increase her income by 25% in her IRA, 50% or 100% in her IRA. I mean, she increased her income from 25 to 50, so she increased her income by $25,000. But she increased her taxable Social Security income by another $18,000. So the extra $25,000 of income, all right, this is the tax torpedo. The extra $25,000 of income increased her total taxable income, or her AGI, now I can't remember what it was, 11,000, 18,000, 25, 18, to 43,000. Because she had an extra $25,000 of IRA income that increased her Social Security by another $18,000, increased Social Security, which means she had $43,000 more of taxable income, even though she didn't have $43,000 more of spending power. Good, that's good job, Social Security. We salute you, because that is fantastic. And none of that is adjusted for inflation, by the way. These rules right here, none of it's adjusted for inflation. Been like that since 1983, those snakes in the grass. So there you go. All right, so we had Finn McKenty on this video. We had the Skells. We had Josh singing. We destroyed Born Again Bride's takedown of me. She wasn't doing that. I'm just goofing you. I like Born Again Bride. She's been a help to me for sure. But then we talk about Social Security with my wonderful handwriting. Where are you going to get this anywhere else on YouTube? Yeah, we're never going to get 1 million subscribers here. But you and I, man, we got something going on here, man. I do the yapping, you do the clapping. All right, I yap, you clap, and if you like what you see, buy me a cup of coffee. It's right there in the doobie-doo. $5. Someone sent me 3 coffees the other day, all decaf. They got kind of they got kind of lukewarm by the time they arrived here. That's okay. I'll drink lukewarm coffee. I'll heat it up in the microwave. Buy me a cup of Joe. All right, God bless. We'll see you guys.